Now it's working.
Alright.
Yay. So, we don't have an official title for this. Yet.
Yeah.
So we decided to try out, podcast, air quotes, because nobody uses iPods for podcasts anymore.
No.
So if you watch our channel regularly, you're very aware that there's one movie series that is on our minds quite a lot.
Well, we watched all of them recently, at least for me recently. You've seen them all, I haven't.
Yeah.
But, and there's a lot about the series that I don't want to shut up about, so.
Alright, so we're gonna cover them in chronological order, see how that goes.
81.
So, well, and by chronological, I mean release date, not fucking Prometheus and Covenant. Not yet, those are later. So, Alien, 1979, starring Sigourney Weaver, Tom Skerritt, Veronica Cartwright, Harry Dean Stanton, John Hurt, Ian Holm, and Yaphet Kotto. So, okay, so I know her favorite movie is Aliens.
Yeah, I like Aliens much more than Alien.
What, would you like to divulge into that?
Well, just for the fact, Alien is good because it's one of those suspenseful fear movies where you're like, where is it? When's it gonna pop up? What the fuck's going on? What is that thing?
Which I think lended a lot to when it came out in 79, because I know that the only really spacey movie that made a kind of impact like that was 2001: A Space Odyssey. Note, I am not a fucking movie expert, so please don't come after me in the comments.
I haven't seen that movie.
That's the one where it has the computer with like the fucking red eye, and it's I can't let you do that, Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's that. And I think that kind of lended to the film.
Well, also, unlike me, who I already knew what Alien was, I knew what aliens were, I knew what the xenomorphs were. If you didn't know that going into the movie, you're like, what is it gonna be? Is it gonna grow? Is it gonna stay this little maggot thing that just goes around?
Which, for me, when I first saw, I knew, like you, I knew about, like, the xenomorphs and stuff, but I only heard about them. I think the first time I saw them was in Alien vs. Predator, which isn't, like, it's not a bad movie, but it's, like, really action-oriented, and it's not focused on, like, scaring you. So I was like, okay, that's all there is to it. And then when I got older, I went and watched Alien, and I was like, holy shit, this is terrifying. Because in Alien vs. Predator, they showed, like, how the xenomorphs were made, but it wasn't really, what's the word I'm looking for here? The cinematography and stuff like that wasn't focused on, like, creeping you out. It wasn't focused on, oh god, think about the body horror, this kind of shit. It was just like, oh yeah, predators are cutting open xenomorphs and that good shit.
Yeah, but that was also the flaw of Alien was you didn't see it a lot.
True.
That's why I liked Aliens, because it was more like, oh, they're all up in the vents. Oh, there they are. Oh, they're through that vent. Like, it was more interesting, where with the Alien, you saw it like 3 to 4 times, and you're like, okay, there it is. Not really scared anymore.
Yeah, I don't really know how they could have overcome that. Because the first time you see it, it's like, it really works to playing off being fucking scary and, like, feeding into your fears of, like, being stalked and there's nothing you can do about it. And then afterwards, you know what to expect. I think the characters really lend to, keeping, like, the spirit of that movie, though. Like, and how they're all freaking out, and they're like, holy shit, Kane's got a thing on his face. And I can relate to Kane just being fucking dead as fuck.
He's like, I'm gonna eat it, I'm happy. Oh, nope, I'm dead.
Yeah, he was fucked.
And then the bad puppet.
Yeah, the chest burster scene, while it is, like, one of the most, like, iconic film things of all time, like, it's really funny looking at it now. There's this movie called Spaceballs that did, like, a parody of that, and when the xenomorph, as I was saying, before our audio we thought was fucked.
Like always.
God, we always have technical issues. There's a movie called Spaceballs, and like it was like a parody. It was a parody of Star Wars.
Yeah.
And there was like a scene with the chest burster, and it fucking burst out of the dude's chest, and it fucking. When it came out, you know those Looney Tunes cartoons where it has the fucking frog that has like the cane and the hat? And he's like, "Hello, my baby." Yeah, the Xenomorph was doing that.
Oh my god.
It was really fucking funny.
It's like the little alien going. Doo, doo,
Yeah, we saw a GIF earlier of from Covenant, the scene where the alien comes out of Captain Orm's
not
chest.
maggot form, but we'll
Yeah,
get to
when it
that
was
later.
fully formed.
We'll get back to that later.
It had a little flute and it was like bouncing on Orm's chest, like dancing around. It was really fucking funny. What were we talking about? We were talking about the alien and the effects of the fucking.
Yeah.
Now, I think the costume for the alien actually worked out pretty well. And they didn't try to, like, mask it with, like, 70s wonky CGI.
I agree, but after watching the other films, it seems like the other films, they had like moisture to them.
Yeah.
And to that alien, it had like none, so you could kind of tell it was fake. Where
Yeah.
like in the other movies, CGI or like a lot of them use costumes still. They had moisture and you could like look like skin. Where
Yeah.
the alien looked like rubber.
I'm not sure if this is considered a low budget for 79, but they only had like a $9 million budget.
And it's granted, it was 79 before, but
True. If somebody wants to work that out, I have no fucking idea, but apparently it wasn't a huge budget for these people.
I don't know. It just seemed. Well, it's 79, different graphics, different time.
Yeah.
But you look at that movie and you look at Aliens, and you're like, look what they did with the suits.
Okay. In Alien 1, I know what your answer is going to be. Who is your favorite character in Alien 1?
Definitely Ripley.
Yeah, I was going to say, if your favorite character isn't Ripley, then you weren't watching hard enough. Well, granted, the other characters, they were really good. I liked them.
Some of them were, some of them weren't.
The one fucking guy was like, right. Is that all you do is say right? Right.
Like, they had some good character quality to them, but like the chick, she had no fucking character at all. And then that one scene, you're just like, just kill her, alien. Just fucking kill
Yeah.
her. And let the poor other guy live.
Yeah, Lambert.
Like, she had no character.
My favorite character was Jones, okay? Because he was cute.
Jones?
The cat.
Oh, Jonesy, not Jones, Jonesy.
His name's Jones.
Did you call him Jonesy?
Yeah, like, you know how I call my
Yeah,
my
but
cats?
I'm used to hearing
I'm
Jonesy, not Jones.
oh, Sammy. Like, my
Yeah,
cat's name is Sam, and I call him Sammy.
Yes, but you referred to it, it was Jonesy, not Jones. That's why I'm like, who the fuck are you talking about, Jones?
It's Jones.
Jonesy, you dumb cat.
You can tell Ripley has been with cats for a while, because she fucking knows how they are.
She's like, come here, you dumbass cat.
Um,
What happened to the cat?
she took it?
But no, an alien furry.
I don't know. Somebody at Whalen Yutani probably has it.
Because the cat was never established.
I mean, it lifted her place in Aliens.
No, I think the cat just got left.
No.
Because in Aliens,
It was at her house.
Exactly, so she was off in a ship.
Yeah, and I was saying, I think somebody from Whalen Yutani probably just took
Poor
it.
Jonesy.
I know. My favorite character is also Ripley, because she is so cool and badass. And
Listen
she
to
was like,
Ripley.
she's like, please guys, we're gonna fucking die.
Listen
and they're
to
like,
you
no,
dumbasses."
Ripley!
I'm gonna ignore you, even though you're like the vice captain or whatever.
She was, hold on, I had her rank like right here.
I know she was second in command.
She was Warrant Officer Ripley, and then she became, I think, Lieutenant
Yeah.
something. Yeah, it was, Ripley is good. As much as I fucking hate him, I like Ash too.
Really?
Yeah. In terms of character.
Has the movies gone past originally made you change your mind on Ash?
Yeah, because I originally didn't like him because I was like, that's so fucked up what he did to them and how he basically was like, nah, fuck these guys. I'm gonna listen to what Mother has to say from Weyland Yutani and just get the alien. But with the other movies, like, you realize that Ash's motives were really, like, mechanical. Yeah. Like, the fact that he was a robot became, like, very apparent with his, like, motives and his...
He's in love with the alien.
God, he's like, I want to kiss a... No, we can't even say that anymore, dude! Because of David. David's the one in love with the alien.
David wants to be a god. Ash is just like, oh, it's so hot. Look at the scales. I want its little mouth to go in my ass.
No little mouth in the ass. Not today.
Or David is like, I'm gonna create these creatures,
and then I'm gonna kiss them sensually because that's all I know how to do.
He didn't kiss for
We'll get there.
You're making me go.
We'll get there. Okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate Alien 1?
Is that on movies in general or movies in the movie franchise? Like
how about both?
With franchise, I give it a 8. Or no, with all the Alien movies combined, rating them between, I'd give it like an 8 or a 7. With the horror movie kind of thing, I give it like a 6. It was a good movie, it just wasn't scary to me. It had like one jump scare for me, and the rest of it I was just kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
It's good, it's entertainment, I enjoyed it, but it just wasn't there to the point where I'm like, oh yeah!
Franchise-wise, I would probably give it like a 9 out of 10. 8 or 9. Movie-wise, I would probably do the same, just for the fact that it was really focused on the parts when, like, the fucking face hugger was on Kane's face. And that was, like, freaky fucking body horror, and that squeaks me out. You know my secrets now. I have to kill
I'm the one that can't stand body horror.
No, I meant them. They know now.
Like, that didn't freak me out as much as some of the other shit that happened in the other movies.
Let's see. Any final thoughts about Alien 1 before we move on to 2?
I gotta say it's a bit anticlimactic too.
What, because she just launches it out the fucking escape pod?
Yeah, because it's just kind of like, okay, like, it's cool how she did it, but I guess I wouldn't call it anticlimactic. It's just like, how is going on? You're like, you know that fucking thing is on the ship.
Yeah.
You know she's gonna turn around and it's gonna be there. Like, you could predict that. It's predictable. In that way. Like, a lot of the movie was predictable. Like, you're like, oh, he's gonna be in the vents and gonna get Dallas.
Maybe I'm not, I don't know. Maybe it was so predictable to you because, like, maybe that was when those sort of things first evolved. So, like, everybody was like, whoa, that's a cool idea. Maybe I'm gonna be that fucking predictable too.
I
don't know.
I wasn't born in 79, so I didn't see the movie when it came out.
I'll have to ask somebody.
Someone who's old.
Ask your dad.
He remember seeing that movie.
Did he see it in theaters?
I don't remember. I think he said he did.
Also, your computer is not responding. There we go. Maybe, like, the longer it gets, it's like, whoa, dudes!
It's probably the city more than my computer.
No, that's what I meant. The program was probably like, woo!
That's all I gotta say.
Alright, final thoughts for me.
You continue talking, I'm gonna get my power cord.
Okay, have fun with that. Final thoughts for me. I don't know. I think I'm pretty soft on that movie because things that are considered movie classics, I just kind of go with.
Yeah, you're definitely like, oh, classics?
Yeah, I'm kind of like, I've come to the conclusion that I'm kind of a movie snob.
Kinda.
And, like, if somebody's like, a great director made this movie, you should fucking watch it. Yeah, I don't know about Ridley Scott anymore.
Just saying.
No, but, like, if they're considered a classic, I'll usually check it out, and it doesn't disappoint me.
It's definitely not a disappointment. No.
And it has, like, it has a good feeling about it, like, in terms of, like, the camaraderie between the characters. The alien is fucking cool. The ship is really fucking cool. And I like the look of it, the aesthetic behind it. How it's, like, trapped in the 70s, but it's in the future. It's kind of like Fallout
Yeah.
in terms of aesthetic. Like, there are certain things about a certain era that really stick with it, even though it's like hundreds of years
Unless
in
you
the future.
see Prometheus and Covenant.
It's okay.
No.
It's okay.
No, it's
All right,
not
we're
okay.
moving ahead. Next, aliens. So, I already forget how I started the conversation about that. Let me pull that up on Wikipedia.
What do you mean start a conversation on that?
Because I introduced it, like, nicely. All right.
Well, you said it was my favorite movie.
Yeah,
That's how you started.
Aliens is her favorite movie.
Yeah.
Uh,
I love that movie.
let's see.
My only real complaint is that, or I guess it bothered me that when they got there, that a lot of action was already gone.
Yeah.
Like, it would have been cool to see the sequence of, like, Facehugger got out, and then Alien, and then, or, like, who the Facehugger attached to.
They brought him in from the ship.
Okay, well, the little maggot thing got out. Then, obviously, it got on to more, probably got Facehugger more people.
I'm pretty sure, too, I'm not entirely sure. I have to read up on this. I think they had a queen, too.
Yeah, they did.
I'm
No, they did, because
not
remember, Ripley
sure.
fought the queen.
Yeah. Hold on, I'm reading through. You keep talking about your like prequel-y thing that you wanted from it.
Yeah, I want the prequel of when the disaster started, because when they get there, it's just like, it's cool because they're like, oh, what the fuck happened here? And you're like trying to figure out what it was, so it'd be cool if like at the end of the movie it like kind of showed it. Because it's just like, okay, the alien gets out, oh, like there's so many people on there, like how do they react? What happened? What'd they do? Like, you just come at the aftermath, which is cool and creepy because you walk in there and it's like dead and you're like, what happened?
Well, I think that's why they did that, because it leaves it to the imagination.
Well, yeah, I agree. I just saw it. I don't know. I like that.
Let's see. It was directed by James Cameron, who wrote Terminator. So it's kind of like it's a big melting pot for me because I love Terminator. That's for another day, though.
Yeah, I haven't seen this.
That's the next thing she has to watch is Terminator. Okay. Characters. Who's your favorite character in Aliens?
God, that's hard. I loved all of them.
I know. There's so many. The characters in 1 were good, but the ones in 2 were.
Like, they killed off the people you didn't care about, and then the people you cared about were like in it most of the movie, and you're like,
yeah, it really like built up how you felt about them and just made you more and more upset when.
Because I'm very bad at names, so I don't remember.
Which person?
I know there's Hicks.
Mm-hmm.
There's that awesome badass chick.
What the fuck? Was
I don't
her
remember
name?
her
Hold
name,
on.
but I loved her.
Her name.
And how she like went out was just awesome. Just her and the newbie captain just suicide killed that alien. That was so fucking cool. And her big gun.
What the fuck was her name?
I don't know.
Hold on.
I'm very bad at remembering people's
Why
names.
can't I? Vasquez.
Vasquez?
Yeah. There was. Hold on. Frost, Crow, Werbowski. I'm probably reading that wrong. Drake.
Hicks.
Apone, Dietrich, Hicks, Hudson, and Vasquez.
Hudson was great too.
I loved Hudson. He was game over, man. Game over.
He was a person that the audience could be like, that would be me during this fucking situation.
Yeah, like, and the knife scene and Game Over, Man, Game Over are my favorites, because, hey, Bishop, do the thing with the knife, and then he doesn't expect Bishop to fucking put his hand over his own hand to fucking do the knife thing.
It's like, that my hand.
Hudson was the most relatable character in terms of, like, reactions and stuff.
Yeah, because, like, how would you react? You'd be like, oh, fucking shit, game over. I guess
Yeah.
I'm dying. I'm gonna go suicide because I don't want to be an alien.
Hicks was my favorite.
Hicks was awesome, too.
I love him. Plus, I like his actor anyways, so, like, that's a double bonus for me.
The chemistry between the characters were really good, too.
Yeah, like, you could tell that these people had been serving together as a military unit for years, probably.
Even, like, the characters that were only in it for so long, like,
Yeah.
how they reacted to each other, how they goofed off with
Yeah,
each
like,
other.
especially, it's really prevalent when they're in the mess hall, when they first, like, recruit Ripley to, when they all wake up.
Yeah.
That's really, like, a a telling scene, like how they all feel about each other.
And then, what was that one guy that had that weird beads hanging down?
Which one?
The one that was friends with the chick.
Oh, the guy, what the fuck was his name?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Was it Werbowski?
Maybe.
I think it might have been him.
We're bad. We can't remember these fucking people's names.
I know. It's because we haven't watched that one in a while.
But like the chemistry between him and her was nice too. Like when she walked out and cranked the gun and he walked up next to her.
I know, that was so cool.
And they just had like that smile on each other's faces.
I was like, what a couple of dorks.
And it's like you're not sure if they were just best friends or it like had more feelings.
Yeah,
it's implied but not implied, so you're just kind of like,
it's kind of whatever you want to make it. Like if you think they're just friends, it could definitely work as just friends, and if you want to think that it's more, it could work out as more too.
Yeah, it's just how you wanted to see it, but you could tell they cared about each other. So when he died, and her reaction was a pure actual reaction, not like, oh, let me act like I care all of a sudden.
Yeah. I didn't ask this about the first movie, but what was your favorite part in Aliens?
I think my favorite part was when Ripley was in where the Queen Alien was.
Yeah.
And she was pointing a flamethrower at the eggs.
Oh,
yeah. It's like, if you let me go, I'll leave alone.
Yeah,
and then at the end,
she
just fucking flames for all of them. Like, fuck you.
Yeah, when she, like, it seemed like she was working out a deal with the fucking Queen, like...
The Queen's like, okay, don't touch my eggs. And everyone's like, okay, bye.
Yeah, and then she's like, fuck you guys. I love Ripley. She is my queen.
She's so badass.
I love her.
But that was, like, my favorite scene ever. Yours?
My favorite scene... What was my favorite scene?
There's a lot of good scenes in that movie.
I think the scene when, what is his fucking name? Hold on, I gotta look again. There's so many people and it's hard to keep track.
What about the weasel?
Burke.
Was
Burke.
it the weasel?
That's the weasel, yeah.
The weasel, yeah.
Burke.
Fucking Burke.
When Burke let the face hugger into the room where Ripley and Newt were sleeping, and fucking Hudson fucking bust the window open and he fucking shot the shit out of it. That was cool. That was cool as fuck.
Hudson's like, fuck that.
Oh, also when Ripley and Hicks were in the elevator and like the elevator wouldn't move, so Hicks was like smacking the button really fast. That was really good too.
Oh, we forgot to talk about Hudson.
Yeah.
Hudson, like the weasel, like.
Or Burke, the weasel boy.
Burke, not Hudson. Burke, the weasel. Like, you can tell from the beginning there was something off about him.
He was like, hey, Ripley.
But it wasn't too obvious, but you're kind of sitting there like, something's off. Like, is something going to happen with him? And when it happens, you're like, he better fucking die.
Yeah.
And how he dies is great. He
Yeah.
turns around and there's the alien. You're like, yes, I feel better now.
Yeah. Another thing that I really liked about that movie is you kind of get to see, because in the first movie it was just Ripley at work doing her job. Really, she was doing her job when all that shit happened. She was off towing a mining thing. And then the second movie showed domestic life for people in the future. Really, it showed that they just kind of chilled out and dealt with really shitty board meetings. And it was really interesting to see that part of how far I guess the culture of that time was. It was nice. I liked that aspect too.
My probably 1 to 2 complaints about the movie was Ripley's daughter died so early.
Yeah.
And they only killed her off so Ripley would have no family and nothing to go to after these 50 years.
So she would adopt Newt, basically.
That was kind of just like, oh look,
which I kind of think we do have to, even though, what the fuck?
I don't know.
Even though Alien Isolation isn't a movie, I do kind of think it needs to be addressed.
Yes, I
agree.
Because this is the Alien franchise.
This is the perfect time to bring it up since you mentioned Amanda.
Ripley Jr.
I didn't mean to interrupt your complaints with it.
No,
I
go
just
ahead.
thought that it would be a good time to mention that that story was actually really well done too.
No, that story should have been the Alien 4 instead of the bullshit. But
Yeah.
we'll get to the bullshit.
Yeah, we'll get to the bullshit.
Because I'm still mad about that.
But yeah, when you're done talking about your complaints, I guess before 3 we can talk about Isolation.
But yeah, Isolation should be included. But,
All right.
yeah, like, the whole reason they just killed off Amanda was just kind of like, oh, look, Ripley has nobody. And oh, look, Newt, well, Ripley adopt her, which was cute, and it was interesting how they developed and Ripley found someone, and fucking Alien Free is fucking bullshit for taking that away.
Yeah.
But, but I was just upset that she was just dead. Just it.
Yeah.
She had no kids, so Ripley literally had nobody. They wanted to make sure she had nobody.
I mean, power to Amanda, though, for being like, fuck that!
Well, yeah, sure, if you don't have kids, that's fine.
Yeah. No, if you want kids, that's fine, but, like, it was kind of interesting to have a character who, like...
But the only reason they did that...
was so she
it
had
wasn't
no family,
for character development.
It was so
just,
she had no family.
She was stuck, which was like, they wanted her lost. It's
Yeah.
distraught. She lost everybody. Her crew, her daughter.
Yeah.
Her daughter's all, like, who she loved so much, and
All
how she had.
all she had was her cat.
She had Jonesy, and that's it.
Jones.
And then she gets Nude and
Hicks.
But
I don't care what you say. They belong together. They're cute.
they are very cute.
They're
together.
very cute.
And they're building a relationship too together, which was nice. You could see Ripley kind of healing
Yeah.
in a sense in the movie, because like when she first entered there, she was like, "I don't fucking trust you.
Yeah.
I don't trust you, fucking robot." Which is
My
another thing.
son!
Another thing is Bishop.
Bishop was my son.
Bishop helped, like, their relationship grew in that she could trust robots. She's like, okay,
Yeah.
you're not that bad, and you can see Ripley softening up and trusting the people.
What was your other complaint? Because you said you had a couple.
I already said the beginning complaint.
Oh, okay.
I can't think of any other complaints right now.
Yeah, because you said you had a couple, and I was like...
Couple
oh,
can be
okay.
two.
Well,
Usually when people say couple, they mean two.
Okay.
I honestly can't think of any.
Wait, what was your 2, though? You said that you didn't like how her family died, and what else?
And how at the beginning you just see the aftermath.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
just
yeah.
like, oh, it's all over. Like, I really can't think of any more complaints about that movie. That's how
Yeah,
much I enjoyed
it was really good. There was even a couple moments, like, where it was suspenseful
Oh, yeah,
and, like,
yeah.
kind of scary, like, when Newt was in, like, the flooded underpart.
Man, that was a
and
good
you see,
way. That
and
was
you
a
see
good
the
way.
fucking tail raise out of the water, and you just see,
That was a good scene.
Yeah.
You didn't even have to fully see the alien, but you were sitting there, they're trying to, like, break open the gate, and your heart's pounding.
yeah, and you're like, are they gonna fucking get there?
Are they
and,
gonna
like,
get Newt? Like, what's gonna happen? That was a good way to play on
Did
suspense.
they had a motion tracker, too, didn't they?
Yeah, because remember, he gave it to Ripley, and then Ripley
Yeah,
gave it to Newt.
yeah, and you could just hear the beep, 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 the little...
You could
like,
hear
when
it
he was-
moving.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
the alien grabbed her.
Yeah, Aliens was a really good movie.
And the nest.
The Nest.
The nest.
What
The
about the
alien
nest?
nest. We'd never seen that before, and then you see
Oh
the
yeah. And
you see-
they show like more to the life cycle, which I'm kind of angry because I'm not gonna talk too much about this because when we talk about Covenant, I'll delve into this a little more. James Cameron came up with the Queen. Ridley Scott didn't.
Yeah.
So I think Ridley Scott didn't really approve of that idea.
Yeah.
So, I thought it was interesting how I liked where James Cameron went with it. Like, I don't think he wrote, did he write it? Hold on. I know he was a director, but I know that, cinematography edited by, oh no, he wrote it too.
Okay.
So, it was written by a couple other people, but he came up with the Queen. So, I thought that was really interesting. Like, he took somebody else's work and he did it in such a badass way that nobody can really argue with it.
No, the Queen was so cool when she
Yeah.
went down there and you look up and you just see this huge xenomorph.
And you see like the fucking the head crest on it. Like, it's gonna sound weird, but the like the design of it and like how sleek it looks is honestly kind of beautiful. Like, it looks cool.
The Queen is scary, which the Alien 1 was lacking.
Yeah.
And it was like, you're holy shit. So there's a queen. This is how it happens.
And
it's
it was
like a nest.
And it was the puppetry on it was amazing too.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what else was a fucking oh shit moment? Because you know how it had like you know how like a termite queen has like that big like,
Yeah.
how it had that thing when it when it fucking tore away from that just to go fucking kill Ripley, I was like, oh no, that's scary. It can move.
Yeah, you didn't think it could move until Ripley like burnt all the things.
Yeah, and then
burnt
it
all
was
the eggs,
pissed.
and it's like, you know what? I'm coming for you,
It
you
was
fucking
pissed.
bitch. And it kind of won in that sense in
Yeah,
Alien Furry, but we'll
yeah.
get to that.
Um,
Ripley, why'd you burn the eggs? You could still be alive.
oh my god. Let's see.
But the nest was cool because they go in there and like, what the fuck is this? And you just see people attached to it.
Yeah.
With like face huggers or the alien bursting out of them. And it's just like this cool atmosphere. It's creepy. It's scary. It's squishy. It's soggy.
And you're still like, you're at the same time are like, holy shit, like they're smart enough to fucking plan this shit out to give their new, the new babies like hosts.
Yeah. Aliens are fucking smart.
Yeah. Okay, franchise-wise and movie-wise, your
Franchise is at the top 10 to 9. I love that movie. I barely have any complaints, and usually I have tons of complaints about every movie I see, as you know. Franchise-wise, scary movies, I love scary movies, but
It wouldn't, you'd have to look away from scary movies for this one, because it's more of an action movie.
I had more fear in that movie than I did in
Really?
Alien. Yeah, because it's more creepy. But okay, action-wise, I'll give it like a 8 or a 7, because it still was fucking suspenseful as shit. When he's like banging on the thing, like the queen alien just sticks her hands in. and
Yeah.
when they're on the ship and Ripley's got to like fight it off, and then you're like, Ripley runs out with Newt, and she's like, oh shit. They left us.
Yeah, they
and
left.
And then the alien's just coming for her, and you're like, okay, this is how they're gonna die. This is terrible. And then boom, here comes Bishop, and it's just
Bishop!
It was just so suspenseful and so good. We gotta talk about the robot Bishop too, though.
Oh, Bishop was my boy. I loved him. He was my
Great
son.
description.
No, he was like, honestly, you kind of get a like sense that like maybe the fucking synthetics are more than you think. Like Ash was really like mission focused, and he was really kind of mechanical in terms of like his his motives, his actions. Bishop felt like a real person, which I mean, he's played by a real person, so.
So was Ash though.
But no, like you get the sense that like he sort of values himself, and he like when he was like, I prefer the term artificial person, and
Yeah.
you can tell that he sees himself differently, like not like smugly or anything, but he just sees himself as like another one of the gang. Like
He wants to be one of the gangs.
yeah, he
which
wants to be one of the gang.
Probably was a good way to reference. God forbid me actually giving any credit to Alien Resurrection, but how like, we're not gonna get into it, but how this is together, but how like the robots made robots.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
wanted them to be like human.
Yeah.
So obviously Bishop was kind of part of that sense where, in tune like Alien Furry, when he's just like, I'm worthless now. But
Yeah, fuck that part. No, like you could tell Bishop was like, I'm part of the gang. I'm just like any other guy, really, and I like that. Like
protected Newt, quickly grabbed her,
he
so she
was
didn't fall
so
down.
cute.
He did not. He didn't really listen to the weasel. He's just kind of like,
Yeah, like I'm sure Burke was like, "Hey, you're a robot. Why don't you help me out?" And all Bishop was like, "I just kind of want to look at it," and that's
He's like,
it.
I'm gonna poke it.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna poke it a bit. And that, I like how they tried to fuck with you, and they're like, oh, Bishop's looking at the face hugger.
Yeah, they're like, he's the evil one.
And we're like, no, Burke, with
You
his
can just tell
Burke with his fucking
his
weird,
80 weaselly.
yeah, with his
weaselly
weird,
weasel.
with his weird hair and his
80s
fucking
hair.
his fucking like vest.
80 weasel.
What else? Final thoughts on Alien. Oh wait, I didn't get my rating.
Yeah.
For
sorry,
Aliens.
I got distracted.
Franchise wise, I would give it like a 9. Just the same as maybe an 8 or 9. I'm not really. They're kind of the same for me, honestly. Like I like Alien more, but in terms of like technical and franchise wise, I think they're both on the same level. Movie wise, overall, I actually would give it a solid 10 because it's very entertaining.
It's entertaining the whole movie.
I have three criteria for a movie for me to like.
You
Okay.
have to yell.
My first criteria is the story is good, which it was.
Yes.
My second criteria is the characters have to be good, that's obvious. And then the third criteria is it has to be entertaining, which it fucking was. So, movie-wise, in terms of, like, is it a good movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, 10 out of 10. It's a great fucking movie.
It was entertainment the whole movie, where during the beginning of Alien, I was kind of like, when is it going to get started?
Yeah.
Where, like, in Aliens, I was like, I'm entertained this whole fucking time. Like, I was never bored.
Yeah. So that was final thoughts on Aliens.
I love it.
Yeah, that's a good way
my
to
freaking favorite Alien movie ever.
That's a good way to look at it. Final thoughts for me, it's fucking great. I love James Cameron anyways, so good job to him for making two of my favorite franchises. So thank you, James Cameron. If you're out there, thank you.
Also, Alien and Aliens did a good job where they worked off each other.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of movies will, like, take some things that they made and be like, no, fuck that, I'm going a different way.
Yeah.
Where with Aliens, sure, they added some stuff, but it was like,
It was
I'm cool
still,
with that.
Yeah.
And then all the other movies besides the prequels used it.
Yeah.
They used the Queen. They're like, this is a good idea, let's continue it. They didn't steer away from it.
Yeah.
Well, Josh Whedon kind of did, but anyways.
So yeah. We're gonna hold off on Alien 3 for a minute.
You haven't completed the game, though, so you don't know the full ending.
That's why I was just gonna do, like, a quick, like, 5-minute
okay.
fucking... Because I feel like it's important to mention... And you can spoil me. I don't care. You know me.
I don't want to spoil it for you. I want you to see the full... I already had to spoil that Samuels dies.
Okay. So, Alien Isolation, while yes, it is a video game, it is considered canon by Fox. So, we're going to include it in this. You play as Amanda Ripley, who Yeti just loves.
I love Amanda.
She's a fucking smartass, and I love it. Let's see.
I like that, look you gave me.
She loves Amanda.
Damn right, I love Amanda.
So let's see. We know your favorite character is Amanda.
Well,
it
has some issues though, because a lot of the characters I don't care about.
Yeah, a lot of the characters are really fucking boring.
Like, it's basically like Alien 1, where it's like, there's other characters, but your main focus is Ripley.
Yeah.
And your main focus is Ripley.
Actually, while they didn't really do a great job with the characters, I will commend them and be like, well, it feels like Alien 1. That's the thing they pulled off best. If you don't play video games and you don't feel like playing video games, I at least recommend watching, like, a full playthrough online, like, of, like, nobody playing it or nobody talking during it. Just watch the cutscenes, watch all that stuff, because it really does give you a feel of Alien 1.
The whole scenery is just alien.
Like, it is fantastic in that aspect. And shit, I had something else to say about it. Fuck. It had good scenery. And go on.
No, you go. You already got your idea.
Okay.
Shoot.
And it helped really with the kind of like Aliens. It helped with the world building sense of what the fuck these people get up to. Like, you can explore the station and you'll see things like advertisements for products and like, oh, do this vacation thing, or you'll find restaurants and shit like that. And I always thought, like, those kind of little tidbits were interesting. Like, it's helping build into this vast fucking world that the Alien movies are. Go on.
Are you done? I liked what they did good in that game, which they did not do good in the prequels, is that tech wasn't this high-tech shit that the prequels did. First of all, the prequels take way back in the past, so it should be lower level. But they did it where, like, it resembled the Alien universe. You opened up the computer, it was like one of those old-ass typewriter computers.
Alien Isolation.
It stuck to it.
Alien Isolation, it stuck with the old tech and even designed some of their own. I have the art book for that game, and it's fucking gorgeous. Mm-hmm. And they designed some of their own fucking tech, like, for the movies. A little rundown, it takes place on, like a station, like a, what is it? Is it, like, just a company station? Like, I don't remember if it's used for trading or if it's...
I think it's just, like, a random station that you can latch onto or something.
Yeah, I think it sounds more like an R&R, like a rest stop.
Yeah, it kind of seems like a rest stop.
And basically, I know Weyland-Yutani has something to do with the alien being there. I haven't finished the game, so I don't know the whole thing.
Well, you got him far enough to know that, oh gee, they go on the ship.
Yeah.
Oh gee, they get a face hugger on them.
Yeah, so
It's literally just like Alien.
it's like
in that
Alien a
sense.
lot. And so you're basically trying to escape the station because it's derelict at this point because the alien has fucking destroyed it
Oh man.
to
I
death.
haven't even got.
Oh
man.
So yeah, so okay. We already did favorite character. My favorite character. We all know who my favorite character
Alright.
is.
Another good thing in the game is, and I've kind of already spoiled this for you, so I'm gonna say it anyways.
Okay.
Is how you find out later in the game you're not dealing with just one asshole alien.
Yeah, it's a
So
bunch.
like when you're in there and you're like, okay, what the fuck? Why is this thing so quick? Why is it over there when it's over there? It's actually you're probably dealing with two aliens at once. Because you go down there and what do you find? You find a whole fucking nest.
Ooh.
You find a nest and you are trying to sneak around and like not get hit by face huggers while you're walking around.
Oh my
it.
god.
And then there's aliens wandering around and crawling through.
That sounds like a pain in the ass.
Yeah, it's gonna be a pain in the ass
I
for
hope
you.
you guys enjoy me playing that later.
But it's so cool.
Yeah, it's really good. It's good. I don't think we can really rate that because it's a game.
And you haven't finished it yet.
Yeah.
We can
So
come back
we'll
to
come
the
back.
game
We'll come back
section.
to that.
We just felt like we should mention it because it's
It's
great. It's a good.
If you like Alien 1, then you'll like Isolation.
It's like Alien 1 and Alien smacked together.
Yeah, a little bit.
That's
yeah.
exactly what it feels like because you're on a ship, all of a sudden this hell breaks loose, and then you have multiple things, and poor Ripley is trying to get through it and survive because
Plus, that
Ripley
game was-
can't get a break.
That game is fucking scary too.
Oh my god, it's because you're in the world, and that mic thing that they put into it, where like if you... Fuck
still-
you, Whip.
Fuck you. We have to figure out how to fix that for PC. All right. So Samuels is my husband. I love him.
Samuels might be evil. Don't you
He's
shush me.
not.
He
Um,
might have had some evil intentions.
All right. So that's Isolation. That was like 10 minutes.
I know, we're on like 41 minutes.
3. Alien 3. That's when it's a little shitty. And I'm gonna be honest, I got so bored during Alien 3, I kind of don't remember what happened in it too well. Like, I know
It's...
everybody that I love dies!
Well, yeah, the opening scene is you find out after all that fucking work,
They
everybody's
all
dead.
die.
Newt drowned to death. What's his name? I can't remember.
Hicks.
Hicks. I want to say Hudson. Hicks got hit in the head with a beam, and like Ripley's the only one survivor. She's on this prison cult ship.
Yeah,
planet.
it's an abandoned, it was a Weyland-Yutani prison thing, I think. And they like just kind of said, fuck it, but you guys can't leave. And if you want to, or if you guys want to stay here,
you can
then-
stay here, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna stay here.
because they're like dangerous criminals, and they're in a weird fucking cult. Alright, so rundown.
Well, Ripley comes off, wakes up to this rando dude, finds out that everyone she loved and cared about is dead again.
for
And
the
but
second
then
time.
then the thing is, she realized something. She's like, "Wait, why did the ship crash?" And she's like feeling Newt, trying to make sure none of them have it because she doesn't want it to spread here.
Oh, that scene where she was examining Newt actually made me really sad.
It's so sad. She was sitting there like touching her chest, trying to see if she had the.
And just the fucking tears on her face, like
When
it was
he had to
building
cut
up.
her open, and she's just like, okay, she doesn't have it. She's like, please cremate them because she doesn't want to have it. Little did she know.
Okay, I know this is jumping ahead a bit here, but that shit with Bishop was bullshit.
We'll go back to that.
Okay, we'll go back to that, but that was bullshit.
We're still going to rundown. But you know what's bullshit? That random ass sex scene.
Yeah, so this was in Isolation. I think it was in the Isolation like facts. It said that Amanda was made from like a one night stand, which is fine. So it doesn't seem too out of character for Ripley, but it does seem very out of character considering her context that she's in right then. Like if she wasn't on a planet where all of her friends just died, I would be like, nah, it's fine that she fucked that guy. But all her friends just died. She's on a planet with nothing but dudes that like want to kill her and rape her. And then she's like, hey, doctor guy, how about you play a little bit of In Out, you know?
No, it was completely out of character for
It was very out of character.
I don't care if it was a one night stand with how Amanda came. I don't.
No,
I don't care that yeah, some women have one night stands. Whatever. I care that the fact that even in Aliens 2, she wasn't hopping on any dick.
True.
And then all
she
of a
was
sudden,
hopping on Hick's dick.
even though she liked him, and it was like you could tell she wasn't hopping on his dick. And then you go to this movie, and then they're
She's
like
just
chatting.
immediately hopping on the dick.
And chatting, and he's like, "Oh, you're very forward." She's like, "Yeah." And then you just wake up, and they wake up in bed together. You're like, "Why? Why did that happen? That had no context. That was not necessary. It was stupid. All they were trying to do is be like, oh look, she loves him. Oh look, she has someone to care about again." That's pretty much all they're doing. They're like, look, she cares about someone. So when he dies, she can have emotional effect.
You know who my favorite character in that movie was?
Who?
The alien. Because none of those characters were good.
The black guy was pretty cool.
Oh, the minister? He was good.
Yeah, the minister. He was a minister?
I think so. Because he was preaching a lot.
He was preaching a lot, but I'm pretty sure he was a criminal too.
No, he was, but I think he was the one who was like the head honcho of the cult or whatever. That movie is very hard to read for me. I think that's another reason why I had a hard time enjoying it, because it was boring. And a lot of their stuff, like, I couldn't pay attention, and...
Yeah, the beginning was very slow and boring, and then when, like, Ripley's and also in the beginning credits, it tells you that Ripley has an alien in her.
Yeah, it ruins the surprise.
Which is, like, a killed thing, because how they try to build up the suspense, like, oh, her nose is bleeding, she doesn't feel good, I wonder what's wrong with her.
But we already know there's
a
fucking alien in there.
But then when you see the clip in the beginning, you're like, okay, well, she has an alien in her, that's why it's happened. Which took too fucking long to come out.
Yeah, I was about to say. My only explanation, and I know it's not one that you like, I think because it was a queen, it took longer.
It took too long.
I think because it was a queen, it took longer.
Maybe, yeah, but it still wouldn't take that fucking long to come out. I'm sorry. The only other thing I could think of is that medicine that guy was putting in her. But that makes me question if the doctor was holding it, like putting it in her, and because he knew Weyland-Yutani was coming to pick her up.
True.
Because he.
But did he have direct contact with Oh wait.
The computer.
Wait. Yeah, because remember how the warden got all pissy that he was making transmissions like without his permission?
Yeah.
So I think that fucker. Yeah. Now I'm mad.
So that's what I was wondering. I'm like thinking like, why is he like, oh, it's pain medicine is my special thing, but how they like it wasn't just like, oh, once. No, they kept doing it to like show it. And my wondering is, Weyland-Yutani was on their way to get Ripley because they knew she had it in her, but the question is, how are they gonna like retain it that long? And I'm guessing he was doing it to like keep the alien in there.
Yeah, that's something I didn't even consider.
But Weyland-Yutani didn't know that there's already another alien in there. Yeah. So they were thinking they were gonna get there, get this thing out like in Resurrection and have it, but it all fell flaw.
Now I'm very curious about that because I didn't even consider that because the only thing I cared about when it came to that guy was he was like, oh, I'm addicted to morphine. I'm like, I don't give a shit.
Well, like I told you after the movie, I was like, why are they so, during the movie, why are they so, like, showing that scene? He's like, here, do you trust me?
Yeah.
And put it in her, and then when she wakes up, he's like, it's just a mix of medicine. It just seems like he knew.
Yeah. For some reason... Oh, I see. One of the prisoners named the thing Dragon, and then in the Wikipedia article, it keeps referring to it as Dragon.
Oh, the crazy one that got locked in a straitjacket.
Like, in the Wikipedia thing, it says, Andrews orders Aaron to take her back to the infirmary, but the warden himself is dragged into the vents and killed by Dragon.
Might not say it. It might have just been something that I theorized.
Maybe. I mean, I can't think of...
But that's the only thing I could think of with the importance of the morphine.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe the guy was just fucking crazy because he was a fucking morphine addict. I don't know.
Maybe, but it's just like, I don't know. It would help me believe that Alien was...
Maybe it was a combo of both. I don't know. James Cameron didn't write this one. It would have been good if he did.
I don't know. That was just my opinion.
Yeah.
I feel like Weyland-Yutani, he was talking to Weyland-Yutani. Weyland-Yutani knew that Ripley's there, knew she had the egg in her, or the alien in her, because they messaged her, make sure she's alive.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, we know this pops out quick, let me keep it from going. That's the only explanation I have for besides it being the queen, for it to not take that fucking long.
Yeah. What the fuck was I gonna say? The characters were really kind of boring. There's only like one or two that
The
I
rape
really
scene
cared
was
about.
not wanted.
The rape scene was very uncomfortable, which
I understand why they had it in there.
But the fact that, like, they're showing them to be, like, super culty and stuff, I don't know. It felt kind of out of place.
You're like, just die.
You
didn't really care about some of them dying.
Yeah. Bishop, I cared that he died a lot. Like,
Or Bishop.
Okay, like we were saying earlier, I don't think that Bishop... Okay, the reason that Bishop died is because they reactivated him, and he was like, well, even if I'm put back together, I won't be top of the line. To be fucking honest, I don't think he would have... Like, if it was written as it was with Aliens, I don't think Bishop would have given a shit. I think he would have...
out of character.
I think he would have just been, like, fine with being with his friends. Like, he wasn't a combat robot anyways, and mostly what he did was like piloting and scientific research. So I'm very confused where the sudden burst of vanity came from Bishop.
And also in Aliens, he was already torn apart, and like Ripley's like, I'm gonna rebuild you, and he's like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, he was
like,
fine.
okay, that's cool. And he wasn't any more, like, damaged than, like, maybe a little bit in his eye.
I think the crash, like, fucked up his, like, face a bit, and, like, maybe...
Unless that, like, made a malfunction in his head that made him, like, I need to be top of the line.
Maybe. I don't know, but that kind of bothered me.
It was out of character.
The puppetry was really fucking good for that part, though.
Yeah, that was...
The effects in that movie, other than, like, the awkward CGI at times, like, it was pretty decent.
It was also interesting. It was so sad with the dog, though.
Oh, yeah! The face hugger attached onto a dog, and it made a xenomorph that ran on 4 legs.
Which was interesting. It was interesting to find out, like, okay, it
adapts
depends on
to
the
the host,
host.
yeah.
So, like, and it was kind of cool seeing the xeno, instead of just seeing it walk, just seeing
Yeah.
it run.
And that was really sad, because they showed the dog dying, and I got really upset.
I know.
It was a cute dog.
That's probably why they cut that from a lot
Yeah,
of those
I know
scenes.
I don't know how it looked on the other version, but in the other version it was like an ox instead of a dog.
You're just kind of like, oh, the ox is dead, okay.
Yeah.
But the dog makes more sense.
Yeah, dog makes a lot more sense, because it was sniffing around and shit. Your favorite scene, if you had any?
The ending.
The ending. Oh, yeah, the ending.
The ending was fucking saved that movie. That was perfect. They're like, oh, give me the alien.
I'm not gonna lie, I think when they brought, Bishop, the guy who made the Bishop robot.
That wasn't really
I think that was a robot.
Because you're right about his ear. He didn't react how he should to getting whaled in the head.
His ear was like coming off. I think that was a robot.
I didn't see any blood. I don't remember it.
There was a little bit of blood, and I'm like, oh, that was like, oh shit, my phone's ringing. You wanna pause this real quick? Okay, I think that's good. I don't think that was the real Bishop. There was blood, but I was like, I don't know.
Then if there was blood, then it was. Because they only
But the dude's ear was like off, and he didn't give a shit.
Well, he's worried about that damn alien.
True. I don't know. I didn't think. And that fucking bothered me. Like, I guess they, like, called in Lance Hendrickson, and they were like, hey, we need you for this. But if you want to stick around and, like...
No, they did that because they're like, Ripley trusts his Bishop. Let's bring someone in that she trusts, that she will agree to work with. Because he's like, don't you trust me?
That was so... That made me so mad. Like, I was like, Weyland Yutani could suck a dick.
But yeah, that scene when she just went backwards, the only thing to make it better, she was just flipping them off.
Yeah.
She went backwards, fell into the... What was it?
I think it was lead.
Lead. Holding the alien as the alien's trying to get free.
Mm-hmm.
And then she falls in the lead and commits suicide. And then they, like, go back to the record and it's like, Lieutenant Ripley signing off. Perfect way to end it. They should have stopped the series there.
That was a good way to end the series.
That saved the movie for me.
Yeah.
Because I was kind of bored almost all of it. But when I saw that ending, I was like, that's the most perfect ending I ever seen.
It really was a supremely good way to end the movie, and it's probably my favorite part,
fuck you ever Ripley could do.
Yeah, kill herself and the fucking alien, because that was, I think, the last one.
That was the last one, because...
Unless they go back and get the eggs.
Well, yeah, but... Remember in Alien Resurrection, they're like, well, Ripley took the last... It was gonna extinct the species.
Yeah. So yeah, that was my favorite part too. Ratings in terms of franchise and movie.
Franchise... 7, 6.
Mm-hmm.
The ending was what really got me.
Yeah.
And I like seeing Ripley kick ass. The movie itself, like 5, 4. It wasn't that interesting.
Yeah, franchise, I'd give it like a 5. Movie-wise, I'd give it like a 3 or a 4, because it was really fucking boring.
If you like Aliens, watch it. If you like the Alien series, watch it. If you don't, just watch the ending, because the ending is the best fucking fuck you ever.
if you like the series, I'd say watch it for the kind of closure that you need for the series.
Well, it should have been a closure, but you know.
And if you just like movies in general, I would stay away from it. It's pretty fucking boring unless you watch the end. That's
just skip to the end.
Yeah.
No, stuff doesn't matter.
Whew. So are you ready?
Alien
for the big fuck you to the franchise.
First off,
I will let her take the reins on this.
First fucking complaint. Aliens are parasites.
Yes.
They are not part of her fucking DNA.
Yes.
So, how the hell did they get blood sample from her inside a fucking singed tar where there's no blood left?
Yep.
And the only other way they could be like, oh, well, we had blood samples from before. If that's so, the fucking alien wouldn't be in there. Second off, DNA doesn't work like that.
No. The only kind of DNA that it would work like that is the Queen Alien having Ripley's DNA, but they didn't clone the Queen Alien. They cloned Ripley.
So the clone comes out and they pull this alien out of her. That's not how it works. The alien's a parasite. It's not part of her DNA, so it would not be in her. That is not possible.
Unless it rewrites the... It just doesn't make sense.
No,
I was about to explain something, but it just doesn't make sense.
No, I will argue that to the end of the world. No, that's not how it fucking works. So that pissed me off right from the beginning. I'm like, how the fuck did they even get?
Pick a time. How did they even? Hold on, we're doing computer things.
It's trying to update on me.
All right. So how did she what now?
How did they get any DNA from her? She burned.
There's no melted blood. To death.
She melted, and even if they pulled her out, she would be covered.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no way to get DNA.
The only thing they could do is like possibly get DNA from her bone marrow, but they said that they got it from her blood. They said it. They fucking wrote himself into a goddamn corner like the bastard he is. We don't like Joss Whedon, by the way. We'll get into that at the end of this.
He can't write movies.
But for now, we'll stick on Resurrection. Joss Whedon can be another episode. All right. So, yeah.
So right off, it was flawed.
Yeah, right at the
off,
beginning.
It was like, what the fuck?
Like, even if you could suspend your disbelief for that scene, it's still really fucking bad because she got abilities from the Xenomorph, and it doesn't make sense.
Why did they even, like, I love Clone Ripley.
Yeah, I like Ripley 8. She's really cool.
I like Clone Ripley. She's interesting. She was an interesting character. But they, like, focused too much on the acid blood the whole fucking time. Because, like, every time she was in trouble, she would swipe her hand and, like, throw the acid blood. It's like, show it once.
And, like, I know I shouldn't be the one talking here when I say this, but the clone having memories thing?
No.
That's not really how it works. Like, okay, the thing that would make sense, the memories that they mean that would have made sense was, like, the intrinsic ability to recognize things. Like, oh, I know this is a hand. Oh, I know what a dog is and stuff like that. The kind of memories they meant was, like, a combination of that and the original Ripley's memories.
How would they have Ripley's memories? Like,
is this how Assassin's Creed came about? Because that's kind of what Assassin's Creed is about, and it's really fucking weird.
Like, I don't understand how it possibly had Ripley's memories. And if it did, why would it be like, oh, my baby?
Yeah,
the alien's my baby. No, it's not. It was a parasite that burst out of your stomach. It wasn't a baby.
Hold on, let me make sure I'm using this word correctly. I have to look this up.
Oh my god, it's my baby. A parasite came out of me. Oh my god, a tapeworm came out of me. It's my baby.
So I think she was trying to be facetious about it, which it means like she's being humorous about it and like kind of sarcastic. So I think she was trying to be facetious about it.
I don't think so, because she continues to do it, and at the very end, she like...
Oh, that was weird. I don't like that.
Like when she's like rubbing her hands all over, and it's like, this is my child, this is my baby. It just doesn't seem like she was
So, you know what I felt like they were trying to do with Ripley? I think they were trying to turn her into like a superhero, almost. Yeah. Which, I don't want that. I like that.
Ripley's
I like that Ripley was normal, but could still.
Human that was trying to.
She like showed that like through extreme fucking effort what people are really capable of.
Yeah, I agree.
Which I like that. In Resurrection, I think they were trying to turn her into like a fucking superhero. Also, speaking of superheroes, I got so many mixed signals from that fucking movie.
Yeah, it felt like a Guardians of the Galaxy. It felt like Jurassic Park. It felt like Fallout. Like it was just all these movies mixed.
It was a bunch of different things mixed together, which I actually liked the atmosphere of the movie. Mm-hmm. It was really interesting, especially in the beginning when they were doing all the science experiments. The characters were fucking boring, of course, as per usual. Yeah, Call was the only good one.
And the guy, and the
Ron
wheelchair
Perlman.
guy, and then the guy with the swollen face.
Ron Perlman? Why are you so mean to Ron Perlman?
His face is swollen. It looks like he like has an allergy reaction.
You leave Hellboy alone.
That's what he looks like.
Yeah, those three were good.
And then, like normal Joss Whedon fashion, that one fucking scene where like she's playing with the basketball and like, or no, it wasn't basketball. It was when they're like, she's like, who do I have to fuck to get off this shit?
Oh god, that was so fucking stupid.
Ripley did not say that.
They made Ripley like fucking animalistic, and it was gross. Like, stop. That was fucking stupid.
And then the token sex object.
Yeah, the token hot chick who like doesn't do anything.
It was like, oh look, a butt scene.
Yeah, there was a scene where like the hot guy was rubbing the hot chick's feet, and like her butt was like out there extremely. I mean, I didn't see the point. It was out of nowhere. Like there was no, like I guess,
like, oh look, they're relaxing, and all of a sudden you hear,
yeah, it was. I would have preferred just seeing Call and the other two dudes hanging out watching advertisements.
And Call like fucking with the boxing gloves.
I liked Call. Call was the only character besides Ripley 8 that I liked.
Yeah, I loved Call. And if I didn't know she was a robot in the beginning, I wouldn't have been able to tell until after she got shot.
Yeah, Call was great.
Okay. Good scene in that movie was the aliens in the cage like reacting to the guy putting his mouth and like,
oh yeah,
that was cool.
It showed how they could learn, how they could adapt to new situations. Like when he was fucking with them with the button and they realized the button sucks ass, and then when he locked the button up and they were like, it's time to escape because he couldn't fucking get out.
It was also an interesting scene when he's like putting his hand up, open his mouth to it, and it's like reacting to him, and it's like they're like, oh, we can actually train them. In reality, they're like, no, they're learning.
Yeah.
They're like, let me kill my friend to get out. And those aliens during that scene were so cool looking.
Yeah, they were really cool looking.
They were like moist and like drooling, but it was scary. They were scary looking. It was cool.
Which is a shame. We didn't get many looks of those aliens up close, really. That was the only time.
And then, that was interesting how they got out. They're like, oh, the button, you can't press the button now. Bye-bye.
Yep, and then they escape. Yeah, to be honest, I think Resurrection actually is a little better than 3. In terms of, like, entertainment. No. No, I mean in terms of entertainment. Up until the end.
Over again.
Up until the end.
No.
Alright, we have to talk about the ending now.
No, we still have other things to talk about. There's a lot to that goddamn movie.
True, keep going. If you got so much to say.
You keep interrupting me. No, I'm just kidding. The claws.
Oh, yeah, Ripley 8 had claws, and it was fucking weird.
And then the cool scene what Ripley did was, like, really Ripley fashion, is when she was hiding under the guy, and the alien goes down, and she shoots it in the head.
Oh, yeah.
And then she pops out, and you're like, yeah, that's Ripley.
That
was a cool scene.
What's your favorite scene in that movie?
None.
Well, my favorite scene is when...
I'm still talking about the movie. It's not time to move to the scene yet. We haven't talked about the sharks aliens.
Go them.
This dumbass scene that when the movie started going to hell is when they were swimming in the water and you turn around and you see the aliens like swimming after them.
And they like straight up put like Jaws rip-off music in it.
It was like Jaws music, dun 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 dun, and they're like swimming so goddamn stupidly. They're like swimming like fish.
Yeah, they were like undulating their bodies and shit. It was really weird.
It was really stupid.
Yeah, it was kind of dumb.
It's funny. I was laughing at it. And then when the hot token chick just, you're like, okay, she's dead. Bye.
Oh, my most frustrating fucking scene has to do with that part with the fucking xenomorphs in the water. So there's one dude in a wheelchair, and one other guy straps him to his back.
The legless guy or the hurt leg.
And, like, at some point, when they're shooting the xenomorphs, like, they're on a ladder to get out of there. And one of the fucking xenomorphs climbs up and hooks up onto the dude with, the fucked up legs, like, the wheelchair guy. He starts climbing up, like, they switch, so the other guy can shoot. And the fucking xenomorph gets stuck on the guy's leg. Like, it's literally...
Like how we're not even trying with their names.
It's literally just holding on to his foot, like a light, gentle grasp that he can...
And they shoot it, and it's dead.
And it's dead. So the one dude starts falling, the dude that shot the alien, and it's on his foot. So instead of kicking his fucking foot so the alien gets off of it, he unbuckles himself from the harness to, like, sacrifice himself. I was so fucking mad.
He just got acid on his face, man. He can kick his foot off just cause of acid.
Acid... I understand he probably wasn't thinking correctly because there was acid on his face, but he took his damn time to unbuckle that fucking buckle, yeah, and to cut it. All he had to do, shake his foot. Shake his fucking foot. That made me so goddamn angry.
You know what's the other angry scene?
What?
That one fucking guy where you're like, why is he still with you?
Oh, yeah! Then they find a guy, because Weyland Yutani, I don't even know if it's Weyland Yutani anymore.
Yutani.
They basically, let's see, the people that Ripley is traveling with, they stole all these people.
And they brought them to the ship, and Weyland Yutani put them in, and where facehuggers were gonna hatch, and used them as
test subjects. And, one guy, like, he actually lasted a while before his burst out. And he was with them the whole time, like, even getting onto their ship to leave, and nobody thought to question it.
Well, Ripley was like, he has one in him, and he's like, what the fuck's in me? What the fuck's
in
me?
Oh yeah, that was really funny. What the fuck's in me? Guys, what the fuck's in me? That guy is kind of relatable.
What the fuck's in me? And, like, also Ripley fucking smelling him and be like,
oh, that was weird.
It was
I'm the monster's mother.
And, like,
let's see. They had, what other parts I was gonna talk about before you got mad at me.
You said your rating. I said no rating yet.
No, I was gonna say my favorite scene scene.
Well, we haven't talked about all the scenes yet. Like the terrible asshole scene.
Oh, which terrible asshole scene?
The one that pulled me over and said "fuck this movie" forever.
Well, hold on. Before that, because that's the ending. My favorite scene is when Ripley, she finds the first, like, she's Ripley 8. She's the eighth clone. Yeah. She's the 8th clone, so she goes in and finds all the 7 other really failed ones.
That was a cool scene.
That was a good scene, because you see how fucked up the cloning process went, and then there was that one that was just kind of like a blob on the table, and it was like, kill me, and Ripley was like, sure thing.
Flamethrowers.
Yeah, like you said when we watched it, Yeti was like, why didn't she just shoot it in the head?
Like, why did she burn it where it had to suffer through the burning pain before it died?
Yeah.
And I'm like, are they referencing Ripley from Aliens, where she, like, just fucking flamethrowed everything? Is that, like, Ripley's go-to thing?
It was actually a really intense scene.
It was.
And I felt bad for Ripley 8 because, one, she was dealing with the fact that she was a clone.
Yeah, because,
And 2, she was dealing with the fact that, like, all of this horrific shit happened. And I guess in a way, like, I'm guessing that was Ripley 7 that got fucking torched because it was the most complete before Ripley 8. In a way, like, seeing yourself like that, it's gotta be kind of fucked up to see.
That's why she was crying and she was like, distraught, like...
Well, and I'm sure she felt fucking guilty for even existing because she was the successful one, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, what was I gonna say? Well, you could tell when, Chur? Is her name? Call, like, told her, you're a clone, and Ripley's like, is that what I am? Like, she didn't know what she was, and then she slowly goes through the story, and she's like, sees what she is and what she is. That's probably just fucking told her. That's why she's so willing to go with them.
Yeah.
She's like, okay, I'm done with this place. Take me with you.
Yeah. Alright, now we can get to the part that you fucking hated with all of your being and cemented in your mind that Joss Whedon doesn't know how to fucking write.
Well, I was okay with this movie. It wasn't the best. I wasn't like, oh, this is... I was somewhat entertained. I'm like, okay, I like the chemistry between Call and Ripley, because Ripley's gay, Clone Ripley's gay as fuck, and they had a nice chemistry, and, like, the scene where they're plugging into Call and like you find out Call is made by robots was interesting.
Yeah.
Like that was interesting. She's plugging in like directing the ship, but then Ripley falls through this thing and she goes into the swarm of aliens and Call's like, oh my god, Ripley, we gotta save her. Like, no, we gotta keep going. And then Ripley wakes up in this nest and you're like, oh cool, here's the nest.
Here's the queen. What's the queen up
And
to?
it's like, oh, it's the queen. And then of course we had the token guy because no one would understand what the fuck was going on without him. And he's like, Ripley,
it's your gift. It's your gift to you. It's giving birth. And I was like,
how is that a gift? Why would Ripley want that? What the
how
fuck?
did they not fucking notice that the queen alien had like a uterus and a vagina? The guy said that it had like human reproductive organs and it was going after its initial reproductive cycle of laying eggs. It started going through a second one. How did they not notice that?
Why? That's so dumb. Like, and then this guy's like,
So
oh, it's making a gift. Like, Ripley doesn't want you to fucking give birth.
And so it was going into labor when Ripley got down there. And somehow Ripley knew that it was in pain like the whole movie, which was really kind of weird. Because I don't think they have an innate sense of like...
No, I think they might, because I remember during the other movies, they kind of reacted if the other one was in pain.
Well, I don't know if like how much comics take into consideration, but Weyland-Yutani made a synthetic xenomorph. And the only reason it was able to blend in is because they gave it like pheromones. So I always thought it was like a pheromone thing, like with ants and bees. Maybe. I have no idea. So
okay, but also going back on this thing where Ripley sensed it when she was like, "Oh, I sensed it in pain." I thought it was going to be an interesting route with that, not this bullshit. She's in labor giving birth. Like, what the fuck is wrong with Josh Whedon? What kind of fetish does he have where he wants aliens to give birth?
So it was giving birth to
the horror fucking thing I never want to see in my life again.
I'm pretty sure it was a dude in a suit too, because it had eyes, like it had people eyes.
And they're like, look, it's human/alien, but it sniffed like a fucking dog. It was like a dog. And then the queen alien picks it up and holds it to her face like, oh, this is my baby, and then it kills her.
Yeah, that was fucking weird.
And you're like, okay, what the fuck?
Yeah, what was the point of that? And then and then the guy's like, oh, it thinks you're its mother. And I was like, what the fuck? Why is this guy getting a boner to this?
He's like, eat my head. So, of course, token guy to explain everything is dead now.
Yeah.
The only reason he was there to explain this bullshit.
And then Ripley gets out and goes to, like, the escape ship with
They jump on the ship.
And then, of course, fucking weird, like, hybrid thing. I forget what
that should be falling fucking apart.
Yeah, it didn't look really well. Did you notice, like, its slender, its, like, long head thing was, like, stuck to its back?
Yeah.
It was really gross.
It was so sick.
It was sick and gross, and I'm kind of grossed out thinking about it. And, of course, it gets onto the ship. Actually, the part with the ship might be my second favorite part because
okay, yeah, that part.
They were gonna freeze the guy who had the chest burster in him, like he was still around. And right when he was going to the cryo area, he got shot, which caused the chest burster to freak the fuck out because it was like, "Oh, my host is dying." So
he got shot by the asshole.
Yeah, the asshole like general dude or whatever. So he's dying, but he gets the fuck up, gets shot like 5 times, beats the shit out of the general guy because he doesn't care because he's dying, and then he pulls the dude down, and right as the chest burster comes out, it goes through the dude's head. It is so fucking cool.
Yeah, that's a cool feature to it.
And then Ripley encounters the weird thing again. I guess.
Paul's like hiding from it, is trying to get her. Ripley walks on and it's like, "Mommy!"
And it like smells her, and she like caresses its face in a way that is so sensual and sexual that I am very uncomfortable talking about
the whole fucking time I was like, "Why is this so sensual?" She's like rubbing it, it's stroking her. I'm like, Josh Whedon, your fetish needs to get the fuck out. Get your fetish out of here.
He's the real alien fucker.
Get the fetish out of there.
No, it was just really
sensual.
Yeah, like it was. Was it supposed to be like a take on like the Beauty and the Beast situation?
Probably, because that's his thing apparently.
But it was very, and especially in context overall of the franchise, it was very odd.
A mother does not do that weird ass thing to their child, like just rubbing it, putting her mouth close to it. I don't
even know. Like,
it looks like they're about to kiss.
You can't even tell what Ripley's feelings are on that fucking thing.
Well, it cries, so I guess it's her child. I guess that's what he was trying to reference.
So they kill it in the dumbest way possible too. She
uses her acid blood again.
Yeah, she uses her acid blood on the window, and it gets sucked out into space due to, like, pressure, like, decompression. But it gets sucked out of a tiny hole, like, a hole the size of a quarter. Which, first off, she just flicked her blood. It wouldn't be a perfect, like, drilled hole. It would be, like, I don't know, jagged.
She, like, cut her hand on it, flicked the hand, and then immediately knew what she was doing. Like, somehow it's like, what are you doing?
Somehow it got pissed at her. And yeah, it was just fucking weird.
It gets sucked out of this teeny weeny hole. The whole body just gets sucked out. So anticlimactic. Then they end up on. They're like, "This is Earth," and they're like, "I've never been here before." And she's like, "Never, neither have I." And then it ends.
And Earth, like, I don't know what's going on with Earth, but it looks like nobody lives there. It was really weird.
They're like trying to set up for a second movie or something, but they're like, "No, this movie sucks. Don't even try it."
God, we still have 2 more movies.
Well, we can stop and come back.
No, it's fine. We're almost done. We can do it.
This will be split up in episodes, anyways.
Are you sure? Podcasts are usually quite
really an hour and 52 minutes.
Yeah, it's only 15
or 15. I can't read.
Yeah, no. Usually podcasts go on for a while.
I thought they're like an hour or like 30 and 40 minutes.
Like an hour or so. If you want, I can split them up.
I don't care. Anyways.
Okay. Now
rating 0. Rating 0.
Let's see. Movie wise,
0.
Hold on. I would give it a 2. Franchise wise, I would give it a fucking 0 because it doesn't make any sense.
Negative 12.
All right.
That movie is
so
shit.
now we're getting into the modern like stuff where Ridley Scott came back into it and
prequels.
Prequels. We're getting to prequels. Prometheus. That one is
See, I was sick during it, so I also was really aggravated by it the whole time because I had like snot coming out my nose the whole fucking time.
It's kind of a shame because they cut out a lot of content. Like,
oh man,
they cut out a lot of content in that movie, and a lot of like ideas they had were cut, but they actually were pretty decent. Mm-hmm. One of the ideas. Okay, so I'm sure many of you have seen Prometheus because it came out in 2012, I think.
But we should still tell the premise.
Yeah. Okay. So, man and woman, they discover that. They find like a star map, and good old Mr. Wayland comes along, and he's like, "Hey guys, I want you to follow that star map with my money, with all my big fancy money, and here's my robot boy, David,
nor my daughter."
Yeah, and her super cool daughter. So they go and take a crew. It's I guess kind of Alien-esque because it's just like a bunch of travelers.
In the beginning, it's just literally David just goofing off and like dyeing his hair, playing basketball,
doing human stuff kind of, but he's a robot, so it's really like emotionless and it's kind of off-putting.
But after seeing Covenant going back to Prometheus, he was obsessed with Shaw.
Yeah, he was
one
obsessed.
of the characters. He would like sit there and watch her memories.
Yeah,
he would. The high tech bullshit was that was.
It was way too high tech for. And the thing is, I'm sure all of you have heard me say this before. I think, on the whole thing with Prometheus and Covenant, I think they would have been better if they weren't directly tied to Alien and aliens and all that stuff. I think if they were an anthology of like, hey, here's more adventures with like before Ripley, like here's stuff that Mr. Wayland got up to, here's stuff that other people have had encountered with the aliens. But no.
They had to directly connect it.
So the tech is like really off-putting. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't feel like an Alien movie. They walk in this corridor and you're like, this is not Alien.
Even when they go on the ship, it doesn't really feel like Alien.
It doesn't feel like Alien. So.
They introduced this race called the Engineers, which they say that like they created us with this goo. It's DNA altering.
I fucking hate the goo.
It's DNA altering.
Goo is stupid.
And it can cause heavy mutations. So the typical like dumb shit thing happens where they go to the ship and they They find the goo.
David touch,
and they
touch,
take
touch,
some
touch,
back.
touch, touch, touch.
Yeah, David's touching everything, and nobody says shit to him. They don't tell him to stop.
Except for,
Except for Shaw's husband. Shaw's husband is like a dick to him.
And what's her face?
Vickers.
Yeah, Wicker's like, what the fuck you doing, David?
So,
what does David do? He puts they're all like relaxed, still on the ship. David puts the goo
in Shaw's husband's drink.
And what do they do? They have sex.
They
so
fuck.
Of course, what do you think is gonna happen? Yep, she's got a fucking face hugger in her uterus or whatever.
Yeah, speaking of like cutscenes and stuff, so there's a scene when they go into the ship, like 2 of the guys stay behind. One dude I actually really like, I forget his name, but he was just like, I just want to look at rocks.
Yeah, the rocks guy.
I like that guy. They find a like a creature.
Oh yeah, that scene was weird because there's no context.
There's no context to it.
It's just like doo 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 doo.
But they find a creature, and one of the dudes who was overly cautious before suddenly is like, "Oh, I want to touch it."
Yeah, he's all of a sudden bending down to this weird snake-like creature.
So apparently, there was a cut scene where the guy, like, at the guy who goes to touch it, he actually did experiments with either like worms or like a snake or something. Like it was like they were gonna have this happen. And then they just decided not to, so it just was just a scene with no fucking context
you're like,
as to why he's touching it.
Why is he touching it? What are you doing, dude?
So those 2 guys, they get McFucked by the snake thing. Like doesn't the one guy like fucking get drowned in goo or whatever?
I know the one guy was smoking weed.
Yeah, he was. He was using his rebreather as a bong. I forgot about that.
And I think it like bites onto his arm and then like goes into his throat.
Yeah.
But the snake like came out of fucking nowhere.
So
Like, why was it there? What was the point of it? Even if that's how they died, fine. Even if that guy was like, oh, I work with worms, fine. But the snake literally had no fucking premise. It's like, when you first saw it, like, crawling around, you're like, oh, is that, like, an alien? Like, is that a xenomorph?
Yeah,
No, it's this fucking
just a
white little
worm.
worm thing that's in the goo for no fucking reason.
So, let's see. Shaw's husband gets really sick because David is a piece of shit. And the thing is, before Covenant, I actually really liked David. So he gets really sick. They realize he might have picked something up in the ship because they brought the fucking goo back. I actually don't think they knew that David brought it back.
No, I think David snuck it back.
So they realize there might be a contagion, so Vickers fucking comes out with a flamethrower and torches his ass alive.
They're like, no, you can't kill him, we gotta bring him back, because he's like coughing and dying.
Yeah, and he's like, just do it, guys, I'm dying.
He's like, please, just do it, and Wicker's like, I'm not fucking let you on the ship, and flamethrowers him, which was like, yeah, cool, go, yeah, Wickers, I fucking love you.
So, what the fuck happened then? I haven't seen that movie in a while.
So he burns to death.
And then the other guy comes back to the ship, right? The high dude? And he, like, attacks everybody?
Yeah, he was, like a zombie.
Yeah, which, another cutscene, which is kind of interesting. During that scene, he was just kind of like a normal, like, oh, I'm a mutated guy, and I'm gonna kill you guys, and...
Wait, was it the high guy, or was it her husband that came back?
I forget.
Maybe we should rewatch the movie.
But they're getting fucked up by one of those 2, I forget. And the interesting thing is, like I was saying, in Prometheus, in, like, the normal cut, he was like, oh, I'm gonna fucking teabag you guys to death. And then in the cut version, like, he was getting like a xenomorph like shape to his head. It was really interesting, and I'm kind of curious what the fuck they were gonna like get up to with that.
Yeah, that was actually okay. Like, that was interesting to see him like kind of morph into a xenomorph.
Yeah, he was like, it was really like going with the fact that like the goo will mutate you.
Yeah.
So of course they think that there's a contagion and their friends are dead, but they're like, hey, let's go back into the ship, guys. That's a great idea. While Shaw is,
Well, no, Will and Tommy shows up.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Shaw,
she...
Shaw does that badass thing, which like, she cut open, she went into the machine, she got a freaking, abortion of the alien out of her.
Yeah.
Or the face hugger out of her, and then she, like, fucking puts medicine in her and just runs with it.
Yeah, she...
All wakes.
So after all that, she's like, hey, let's go back.
Yeah, that's when she lost credit. But Will and Tawny was there.
He woke up.
Well, no, he wasn't asleep. He was just there.
No, he was asleep in a cryo thing, I think.
Oh, okay, well, David's, like, rubbing Valentine's feet, and he's like, hey, let's go back to the ship.
Yeah, because he's like, I found a sleeping guy in there.
David's like, I can talk to them. And so Valentine's, let's go back to the ship. And Shaw's like, you know what? I came here for that. Let's go do that.
So, they go, and, of course, they're all dicks to Shaw, because Shaw is like, hey, I want to know why you made us, and tell them, like, that we're sorry, and we're cool, and we love you. And Mr. Whalen's like, I'm a big old dick. How about you smack her in the fucking gut where she just got an abortion or a C-section? And, the engineer sees that and actually gets, like, really pissed off and, like, rips David's head off, and it's really funny. And beats the shit out of Mr. Whalen with his head.
Kills Whalen.
Kills his creation with Whalen's creation. There was another deleted scene where I think it basically confirmed that it got really pissed because they hit Shaw.
Yeah.
And that, like, it was disgusted by David. And I was like, look, I'm disgusted by David, too. So, Whalen's dead. David is, like, decapitated.
So, Shaw runs back to the
emergency pod because Vickers, No.
Okay. No, what the fuck are they called? The big white alien? Lost. The ones that made us, what are they called?
The engineers.
The engineer gets on his ship to go kill Earth. Shaw runs off of it and was like, oh, I need to get to the crew, we need to stop this. So they get on the ship, and then the captain's like, okay, well, the only way to stop this is going to have to run into it. And
yeah, which sucked because the captain was really cool, and, like, they had no other way but to kill themselves, I guess.
Also, another deleted scene that should not be deleted was Wicker's reaction that her dad was dead.
Yeah.
Like, where the captain walks in, and it's them, and it's both of them, and they're, like, talking. Like, that was an interesting thing. They completely cut that out. So they're like, okay, gotta go kill ourselves, ramming. Oh, no, Shaw wasn't on the ship.
Shaw wasn't on the ship, and Vickers used the emergency exit pod.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say that. Shaw wasn't on the ship. Vickers jumped on the emergency exit pod, escaped, ran up to Shaw. As the crash, the ship comes down, she dies the most fucking stupid way ever.
Yeah, she could have rolled out of the way to get out of the way of the ship, rolling, I guess, because
she's running forward as the ship is running.
And she should have ran to the side.
So she gets crushed by the ship. Shaw almost gets crushed, but doesn't get crushed. So she gets up, hears David talking to her, goes, saves David, and then at the very end, you see the engineer, I don't remember what. Oh, he wanted to go fucking kill Shaw because she was back in the escape pod to get supplies, and he goes in there and there's this giant facehugger.
Yep, it's the giant squid
and
boy.
It jumps on him and then boom, here comes the xenomorph and it's like this dinosaur xenomorph. But then when Covenant comes around, they completely just throw that away.
Yeah, the Deacon comes out and like I guess they were trying to set it up as like, hey, look, this goo can potentially make xenomorphs, or this thing is the ancestor to a xenomorph, or something. Something! They could have done something with that, but they didn't. Then Covenant comes along. Actually, we have to give our favorite scenes and ratings and characters and all that shit.
Vickers.
Okay, Vickers is her fave. Oh, God. I guess the captain.
Yeah, David's not
David used to be my favorite character, but after seeing Covenant, favorite scene.
Flamethrower, I guess. That's the only decent scene on that movie.
I
mean, the badass thing where she gets a C-section is pretty cool too, but...
Do deleted scenes
no,
count?
They don't.
Oh, because I was gonna say my favorite deleted scene is when,
Doesn't count.
when Vickers is, like, talking shit to David. It's really funny. Favorite scene, I guess, is when the Deacon comes out, because it's cool. Okay. I like that Deacon.
And rating...
Movie-wise and franchise-wise.
Movie, I guess, it kept me entertained, so I guess it's like a 6. Franchise...
It's kind of difficult, because, like, if you look at the movie isolated from Covenant and look at it completely just for franchise-wise, it's really confusing.
Like I said before, this is a great scary movie without Alien.
Yeah.
If it was just about this goo that did weird stuff and this weird engineered alien, like if they didn't try to connect it back to Alien, it would have been a great movie. I would have enjoyed it a lot more. I mean, it has some flaws. The character's kind of boring, but the fact that they're like this, no, this is Alien. It just kind of was like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
I
don't even know what
franchise rating.
I don't know.
Movie rating, I would give it like a... like it's 6. Like 6 or 7.
I don't have a franchise rating.
I actually really like that movie. It's one of the more enjoyable ones. Franchise-wise, I'm looking... Now, keep in mind, when I give this rating, I'm looking at it independently of Covenant, because this is kind of how I felt when it came out before I saw Covenant. Franchise-wise, I would give it a 4, because it was very unclear about its place in the universe. It was very unclear about if it was connected to Alien or not. Like, they wouldn't make up their fucking minds when they first made it. And the characters were fucking boring. I only liked David and, like, a couple other characters, but other than that, like, there weren't many, like, good ones. Like, they were just kind of, I have one trait, I'm a stoner and I like rocks, get it? Ha 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 ha, I'm a stoner geologist. So yeah, I'd give it like a 4 franchise, movie-wise, like a 6 or 7. So, we get to our, our final bit before we finish for the night.
Oh boy, Covenant.
Can I just say this now? Walter is amazing and I love him.
Yeah, I guess you can say that now. Covenant started off okay.
It was trying.
It was interesting because, like, oh, there was a colony, and you're like, oh, it's gonna colonize a planet. That's cool. But there was like, oh, Walter's playing with these things.
These fetuses.
We know David's gonna be part of that. Looks kind of predictable. And then, like,
yeah, I straight up said in the theater, David's gonna touch those fetuses.
But and then they get this weird single where it's like, country road, take me home. So they get that single and they're like, oh, let's go down on this random ass planet.
Which, okay, I love Walter, and he is a pure bean, but I don't think he would have had any problem to them being like, hey, you're going by yourself to look at this planet.
Well, a lot of it was that captain, because that captain was like...
So, I found it funny that James Franco was in it just to die immediately in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, Captain Oram, like, in the book, I have the book for this movie, we both do. It goes a lot more into, like, he's trying to, like, hold up to the other captain's standards.
Like, they try to have a few... Oh, okay, so the ship has this thingy to, like, generate power, and then an asteroid field runs into it, so it breaks. So the whole reason they're going on that planet is to get resources or find something. But, so, like, Daniel's husband, like, gets burned to death because all the things fall, and, like, their tubes freak out, and they're, like, all, like, freaking out, and so the captain died, so this guy had to take over, and his mind was like, well, I gotta make sure they listen to me, and they realize I'm the captain, and then, of course, all of them, Tennessee, Daniels, and I can't remember any other names, but they were all, like,
they were all still mourning, really, over the captain, because he was their friend.
So they gave a funeral, and the fucking asshole is on the screen like, they're not listening to me, what the fuck is wrong with them? I'm like, dude, they're mourning.
You know what's another interesting thing? Like, it was obvious, like, but I didn't realize that all of the crew were married at first, like, every single crew member. Like, I was like, oh. Because
it's a colony.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay. Who's Walter married to?
Walter's a robot. He doesn't get to be married.
Shh, he's married to me.
But, so the issue is they get an astrophyte, they need to get power, they need to fix it.
Well, they do fix it.
They do, and then they're like, oh, this weird planet, that's perfect, let's go down into it. So they go into it. Immediately, as soon as they walk in there, they're, like, exploring the planet. This is the part I officially get pissed off at. Is one of the guys steps on these, like, egg
sacs, yeah.
And this dust flies up into his ear. And then all of a sudden, he's, like, having an attack. Well, I'm like, okay, it's, like, Prometheus, and it's, like, it's the goo, blah, blah, blah. And then they take him on the ship, and he's, like, freaking out.
And then suddenly, a fucking tiny little thing bursts out of his back.
And all of a sudden, there's an alien popping out of his back, and I'm like, okay, no.
And then
alien is not a fucking virus. That's why we were like, oh, they're contaminated. Here comes the alien virus.
Yeah, we thought it was a virus, and when that chick was treating him, like, we thought that she was gonna get it
maybe
too.
Maybe she did, because they just explode, so we don't know.
But I read a little bit into it afterwards, and it's just the initial dust that.
Why is it dust? It was goo before. And
I don't know.
And then they're like, there are excuses like, oh, it's air contact. David was playing with it in air.
I don't know.
So no, it does not work. And then the other guy sniffs the dust, and I'll give him credit. That was really fucking cool when he barfed up the alien.
Yeah, when he got fucked up by the alien, it like came out of his mouth and he like barfed up all his organs, and it was really fucking cool and gory. And I was like, holy shit!
And then I love the little white aliens, like little guys are like running around.
The neomorphs, yeah.
The neomorphs are running around and like trying to attack them, and then
So
Walter.
they find the ship that David and Shaw were on, and they're trying to like beat around the bush, like, oh, where's Shaw? Where's David and Shaw? So like Yeti was saying, the neomorphs come when they're trying to get back to the ship because the one dude is like about to throw up the alien,
And here comes David.
The dude threw up the alien before.
Yeah.
And they grew, and it was nighttime, and the aliens, they got really big, and they were
No, they were a little teeny.
Oh, one was like
No, they were pretty
the size of
teeny.
a dog. Well, then how did it get Walter's hand in its mouth? Like, how did it fit?
It wasn't like super tiny, but they weren't super big.
I was gonna say it was like
They're
the size of like a dog.
No, a small dog. They
Yeah.
were pretty tiny. They're like
So-
running around like raptors.
So they were trying to, they were running around, and like Walter, like, bless
He
his,
stuck his hand out, saved Daniels. He's
bless
gonna,
his
like,
cute
take her
little
and
heart.
Gets his hand eaten,
yeah,
and
he
then
gets his hand
David shoots
dissolved.
a flare in the air, and they run
scares
away.
him off.
And then they go back to David's thing, and they're like, "Oh, look, this is the engineer's planet." And
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. And they're like, "All these dead." Oh, I don't know.
The dead engineers. They were. It was kind of like Pompeii with like the
Yeah.
ash bodies.
And so they go up there, and like David's just acting like fucking creepy as usual.
He's like, "Hey guys," he's like, "I see there's another Weyland-Yutani synthetic here. He's awful cute. He looks like me. Did you guys notice that?"
And of course, all of a sudden, David's cutting his hair.
Yeah, and I can see it. I can see it
called
from a
the
mile
switcheroo.
away.
I called the switcheroo a long time ago. So we called the switcheroo because it's like, okay, he cut his
cutting
hair.
his hair. I gotta say, Michael Fassbender is one of my favorite actors, so it was nice just seeing him fucking run around in like super tight suit.
So Walter goes down and sees like all of his like creations, and well, it does actually. I think the Shaw scene.
The stuff in between the neomorphs coming back is pretty boring. Like,
Well, the interesting one is when like they walk outside and he puts flowers on Shaw's grave.
that was so he's like, oh, Shaw died in the
Shaw's
crash.
the only one that loved me. Shaw's the only one that like.
Shaw,
cared
I
about
love
me.
Shaw.
Yeah.
I did look at all this stuff I did based on her, and here's my art class. David is like fucking freaky. Like
He's obsessed with Shaw.
he's obsessed with Shaw, and he's like suddenly like into like art and stuff because he's like, look, I can create shop, guys.
He's crazy, pretty much.
Yeah, he's crazy.
So
And
the
he's
weird
like-
flute scene.
And he's like, hey, Walter, you want to create some stuff too? And I'm like, he's creating feelings in my heart. Oh.
And yeah, so the flute scene, and pretty much you see that David has a god complex. He's like,
Yeah.
I am God. I will be God of these people. These humans are weak. They're weak and weak to us.
And
so
he's
we can-"
trying to convince Walter to join him in his like conquest.
And of course,
basically.
Walter's like, no.
Walter's like, no.
And I think Daniels goes down. No.
No, it's Walter.
No,
Walter
no.
goes down and finds Shaw's body.
Yeah, okay, so, well, no, there's a part before that, but yeah. So Walter goes down, and, like, there's Shaw's body, like, obviously
It's
he
like-
experimented on her. It was not this sweet thing.
He cut her open. She was heavily mutated. He was using her for experiments, and I kind of hope she died before he did that. I'm hoping that. And
We'll get to that.
yeah.
But, so, the one chick is in there, like, washing her face, and this is a scary fucking part. It scared the crap out of me.
Yeah, it was scary.
She was, like, washing her face, you hear this noise, and you turn around,
And the neomorph has grown humongously. He's like 7 feet
He's
tall.
like looking down at her, but it doesn't have a mouth or eyes, so you don't know where it's looking at, and it's just staring at her. And so she's like reaching for her gun, screaming, and all of a sudden, her mouth opens, and it like
kills
attacks
her.
her. And I'm like, that is so fucking scary. That was awesome. And then here comes
That's part with David.
here comes David, and David like opens this thing, and he's like looking at him, and it's like he's touching it.
You can't really see its mouth other than the fact that it has blood on it, so
Yeah.
it's still really scary.
And he's like touching his nose, and then the captain comes in, shoots it, and he's like, "It trusted me."
He's like, it trusted me. And he said some line about horses, too. He was
Yeah.
like, if you blow air in a horse's nose, it'll love you forever. I was like, it doesn't have a nose, David.
So, like, and then this dumbass captain's like, he's figured out David's up to this. He's like, what did you
Yeah.
do? What did you do? And Dave's like, here, come with me. So the dumbass captain goes into the
Looks at all the
basement.
experiments that David's been doing on other, like, neomorphs and has been using them in the goo. And then he's like, come into the basement with me.
And he's looking at the eggs, which everybody knows what the eggs are. And we're
There's
like,
xenomorph eggs.
and he's like, go ahead, look, it won't hurt you. Yeah, trust a robot that just like killed your friend. Looks in it, face hugger on him, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So why that's happening, and then of course, like 5 seconds later, Alec, here's the part where she got pissed.
Oh God! Fuck you! Could no, I need to tell this
Okay,
part. I'm sorry.
fine,
I'm
fine.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Fine, interrupt
So-
me. Go for it. Go.
Okay, so fucking Orem is passed out on the floor with the dead face hugger. David's throwing rocks at his face. I was like, all right, that's kind of funny. All right, cool. So Orem wakes up and he's like, what the fuck happened? And I forget what David said because I don't give a shit. And give it a little time, and you see some stuff with Walter finding Shaw's body.
Yeah.
And so Orem's suddenly like, my chest, it hurts, and I'm pretty sure it happened really fast.
Oh, it happened
too.
ridiculously fast. Like all of a sudden, it's like, "Ugh."
Yeah. So, chest burster, right? Right? No.
Nope, it's a full-on fucking.
It was a very tiny, like, translucent xenomorph. And it had arms and legs fully grown already.
And then David like raises.
And
his hand
David
and
raised his arms up, like he stood up like a jackass and was like, look at me, my arms are in the air. And then the xenomorph did
Copied
the
it.
same fucking thing.
It's like, oh look. And then that's when then really it gets worse because like
You could tell this part I said.
okay, Daniels is like looking for this thing and he like comes in and he's like talking about snooping eye or I don't remember what the fuck he said, and she's like, what did you do to her? And David's like, the same thing I'm gonna do you. He throws her on the table. He climbs on top
And
of
then
her.
he like starts kissing
He
her.
starts kissing her. So obviously we find out that David fucking raped Shaw.
Yo.
Was about to rape Daniels. And then here comes Walter.
My boy!
Walter busts in, breaks, like pulls David off, and they're like fighting. And he's like, she doesn't love you.
And
like you love her.
And
you're
Walter's like, I know. And I was like, oh God, my chest.
And then you find out that like Walter's been in love with her this whole time. And if you go back to the scenes, you're like, yeah, that makes sense because he was very caring to her. So you're like, okay, Walter has a crush or is in love with Daniels.
Aww.
David fucking raped Shaw, poor Shaw. And then the Xenomorph comes out and they're like, oh, okay, gotta run on the ship, jump on the ship, Xenomorph's on the ship. They're like trying to, cause it's all kind
Yeah.
of boring. And then they finally get back on the normal ship. And
It turns out, doesn't one of the other guys... Yo! We forgot something! The other dude that they escaped to the ship with also had a face hugger on him.
yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that part, because they kill the one xenomorph with like a... It's like a crush, like a, what's it called?
Yeah, because they cut
The face hugger off his face, yeah. They crushed the one xenomorph with like a... What is that called? Like a construction crew where you use the
Yeah.
dirt to... Yeah. They crushed it, and then they were like, oh no, it's blood, it's acid, but we're all good, yeah, ooh. And in a scene before...
No, I feel like that's the last scene, isn't it? When they like run the trucks in and it crushes it and.
No, we're still talking about when they get back on the ship.
Okay.
Like when
I
they're
thought
getting
you were
back
talking
to
about,
the
I don't know
ship.
what other scene you're talking about, but.
No, remember when they kill the first xenomorph? Because the
No.
other dude, they crush it with a thing, and it like explodes in it, and Daniels looks at it, and she's like, holy shit, the blood is like acidic.
Okay.
So in a previous scene, David shoved a fucking flute in Walter's neck, like trying to deactivate him, and it showed that Walter could heal. Like that was the whole point of that scene. Nobody questions that Walter needed to get his face stitched up or anything. Like,
Well, not until the end.
yeah, like nobody was questioning it. Nobody was like, oh, Walter.
Meanwhile, everybody watching is like, yeah, that's fucking David.
Yeah, we all knew that was David.
That's David.
So the part you're thinking about is when they lure
Well, no,
it.
I want to.
Okay,
There's
go ahead.
other stuff. So they get back on the ship. Daniels and Tennessee's mourning. Why the other guys are just having sex in front of the shower, which is
Yeah.
fucking stupid. Like, why they just lost their whole crew and they're over there having sex in the shower. Guess what? Xenomorph's there, attacks them, kills them, blah blah. Then they're like trapping it in between doors, like aliens free.
Yeah, I was gonna say it actually. I liked that part. That part was really good.
Yeah, that was like, oh, it's like Alien again, because like they're trapped in the door. They like drive this. They like open the hatch, drive this truck thing, and like rams it off. Daniels jumps down, jumps back up. They're like, okay, we killed it, yay! And like they or Walter's like, okay, I'm gonna put you to sleep, and then he puts Tennessee to sleep, and then. As he's putting Daniels to sleep, Daniels like, will you help me build the cabin? He's like, sure, I'll help you build a cabin. And as she's about to go in, she goes,
Oh, fuck
David!
yeah.
and like bangs on this thing as it's going down, and then you see David whistling. Weird ass part. He opens this thing, he pulls the fucking face huggers out of his mouth. Like, why was they in his mouth?
He regurgitated them too by the noises he made.
Put them in the sink and then shut it, and then walked away
and was talking like Walter. It bothered me. So, favorite part, I guess. Favorite part and favorite character. Cover that both at once.
I don't know. You go first. I don't like that movie.
Favorite part was...
Shut up.
When David was putting flowers on Charles' grave, and they were being fucking weird and doing poetry in the middle of a dead fucking city. And I was like, alright.
Oh, yeah, that's also scene that we forgot to talk about. How David fucking clicked the button because, like, the shit was coming in and all
the engineers.
All the engineers were like, oh, you're back, welcome back, we missed you. And then he just clicks this button, all the dust goes down.
And he kills them all.
Kills a whole world of people.
Because David is a fuck
Because he is a god. He's like, I am God to these people. I will be God to everybody.
But yeah, like, I honestly, and I know this sounds kind of biased because I like robots and I like Michael Fassbender. But, the scenes were like David and Walter, like David was trying to fucking manipulate him, and Walter was just like, nah, bruh.
Like, yeah, like when he was saying poetry and Walter's like, something, I don't remember.
He quoted it with him, I think.
He did, but then he quoted something about how, like
he said it wrong, or he said it was the wrong guy, that's what it was.
No, I thought he quoted something else and was like, talking about how, like, gods will fall, or who you think you are, you're not, or something like that.
Yeah, and then, like, David was like, oh, it was by this guy, and Walter's like, no, it fucking wasn't, dumbass.
I don't remember that part.
So yeah, parts with, like, David and Walter were really interesting to me, and, like, honestly, David was probably the best character in the fucking movie, because he was a fucking nut. We all know Walter is my favorite character, though, because he's a good boy. What about you?
Oh, wait, Xenomorph. That was my favorite character.
The favorite character? The Neomorph? So does that mean your favorite scene was the spooky scene?
Yes, that is my favorite scene. That literally made me jump in my seat when it happened.
That was so scary.
Like, just how she turned around, and all of a sudden I was just standing over her, looking at her, and he had no eyes or mouth, so
that was really scary. And, like, they did a good job at making it look, like, the skin look really gross, too.
And then it just jumped at her and killed her, and it was just fucking scary. It made me jump. That was, like, my favorite scene.
Franchise and film ratings.
Franchise, I guess a 3.
Mm-hmm.
Film rating, I guess a 4. I mean, it wasn't that good of a movie.
Yeah, franchise-wise, because they explicitly showed how the Xenomorphs were made, I have to give it a 1.
Yeah. Oh, that's another thing. It's like you watch those movies and then you think back to the old movies. You're like, this is all David's fault. David did this, and I hate the fucking thing where like man creates machine, machine creates monster, monster kills man. No.
Yeah.
It was so much cooler when aliens were just different
animals.
Alien species
They're
that
just
were
animals.
Not created by human. They don't need to be created by human. There are these different species in this world of space that no one knows what's in there. That was cool. Now they're like, oh, it's made by David. You're like, no, it's not.
Film-wise, I'd give it like a 3 because there was a lot of Fassbender ass. And it felt like a fucking fever dream, honestly.
Yeah.
It kind of gave me a headache, and I was just like, what the hell is going on?
I was just mad the whole time.
I was like, Walter, help.
Okay.
Final thoughts.
Rating movies all together now. What is your movie?
My top movie?
No, like, no. Like, what, going top to lowest. Like,
top to lowest. Alien, Aliens, Alien 3.
Really? I thought you might put Prometheus before Alien 3.
Yeah, I guess I could, like, Prometheus, Alien 3.
You seem more entertained during Prometheus than Alien 3.
Yeah, so it's Alien, Aliens, Prometheus, Alien 3, Covenant, and Resurrection.
I like how
because Resurrection was just a crock of shit.
Yeah, good job, Josh Whedon. Way to get out, to stay out of my fandoms.
Your turn.
Okay, so it's Aliens, Alien, Alien 3,
Mm-hmm.
Prometheus, Covenant, and Alien Resurrection.
We both agree that Resurrection was just some fucking bullshit.
John.
Tune in next time for us bitching about Joss Whedon's giant.
Either that or like Age of Ultron. 'Cause I could go on for like 3 hours about Age of Ultron.
I think when we talk about, we could do a Joss Whedon episode where it's just like us ranting about Age of Ultron
Gotta
the whole
hate that
time.
movie. Anyways.
So yeah, have fun listening to this, boys.